What's going on, y'all? Another week, another geek. We're back at it again with another episode of the Why I'm Geek show, episode 132. 132 of them things, and we're back again with the Brody. That's somebody's YouTube intro. What's good, Chris? How you feeling today, bro?
I'm feeling it. We're in our baseball attire now.
Yeah.
Baseball season starting up.
Low key matching. You know what I'm saying?
Low key, a little bit.
Haters would say it's fake. Let me stop. But yeah, I'm excited to talk about Invincible today because this is the last week. This is the last week of Invincible, bro. And I have a lot of feelings about this show, but I will save them for as we get more into the conversation. But just because, Chris, you watched the last two episodes like back to back. How are you feeling directly after seeing it? Because you just saw it. You know what I'm saying? You just saw it as we're recording this. So, like, what are your initial thoughts?
I thought the two episodes were a little different.
Mm-hmm.
I think on our last podcast, we talked a little bit about how Invincible is one of those special shows where we kind of don't even know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
And I think on episode 6, we saw that, was it Rex survives?
He does. Yep.
And it's just so interesting because he got shot in that episode, then he survived in that episode. It's just like, dude,
Shot in the head.
In the head, and it looked like he done for. Because it's kind of like this dude can't miss or anything. But
well, it was in the next episode though, right? I thought it was in the next episode. Yeah.
But not episode 7. Yeah.
No,
because we did the pod on 5.
Yeah.
So it's just so cool to come off feeling like, yo, they're done, like they're dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you watch episode 6, and it's like, oh, he dead. And then he get up and start just wrecking them with his limb.
Yeah. Yep.
And then you still think he's dead, and then he comes back. Like, it's just so crazy to watch a show like this.
Yeah.
Because week to week, you never know what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
And to see it back to back, 6 and 7. Going into 7, I was confused if I'm watching the same show or if I missed something.
Right.
But you get a lot of wrap up conclusions, and you get some even more juicier potential and kind of like the meat and potatoes of what we've been waiting for season 2. So back to back, it was actually really, really good. But how'd you feel watching them separate?
Yeah. Last week I was happy. I was super happy because they addressed a lot of things that I was getting mad about. Not necessarily the ads and stuff, but the stuff that's going on in the actual story. So, I wanted more from just seeing like how Mark is dealing with it not being the superhero. Like when he's not invincible. I wanted to see how he was doing. We got that in that episode. And it was a lot of, Amber, and it was a lot of hard conversations that were had. So like the pacing of it was definitely different than everything we had, known up until then. They just suffered a huge loss like in team. And, even though they came back with a win from space, it was just like nobody was really celebrating or like, super happy. Like it was literally like a funeral, bro. Like, So, it was a good change of pace, but like, it just, like these last two episodes really just affirmed for me that it's not Invincible. Like, it's Prime's fault. Prime is the reason why we're having, well, let me speak for myself. I'm having a hard time watching this show as I did prior to season 1. Like I really think, like, even though I feel like the actual timings of the, ads are a lot better, but just the whole structure of this season was stupid. And it took away from what could have been if they just released the whole thing. You don't even have to be like all episodes at once. Like you could include all the ads you want and everything. But don't do a part 1 and part 2. Especially if you're not crunched for time, bro. Like there is no, like, this is not like anime where the manga and the anime are being made at the same time. Like the source material is already out, you know? Like, so like, granted, we don't know what's supposed to happen in Invincible, but all this stuff has already happened in the comic book, in the graphic novel, whatever you want to call it. So there's really no excuse. I just see Amazon and Elon's hands all on this show, and they just doing whatever they want to do, bro. And I feel like this show is suffering because of it. I feel like it would be a way better watch once it's all done. But as of like week to week basis, it's still like it don't have the same spark as it had before, and I just can't not say it. You know what I'm saying? But when you look at the show by itself, which is like, this is the last time I want to talk about it, it's great. It's really good. And you just have to, you know, like I asked for more relationship stuff. They gave me more relationship stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I asked for more questions or answers about, what's his name? Dale? The cybertronic man that's always there at the right time, and we got those answers in this show. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's really hard to be mad at Invincible, so I just won't be. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna just continue to watch it like how I've been. But if it doesn't get a season 3, it won't be because of the content. It'll be because of the rollout. Drop the mic. I had to go on that rant, bro. I'm sorry, bro. But like, I don't know. Is it bothering you as much as it's bothering me?
No, not at all. Like,
okay. I don't
like
know.
I mean, there's just no way this show is not gonna get renewed for season 3, and like it. Like I hate the big gap because it's like 5 episodes. Then I guess we got is it 4 episodes? Then we get 3,
4 and 4.
Yeah, 4 and 4. So it's just kind of like that sucks. But I mean, when you put it all together, all these episodes are really, really, really good.
Yeah. But I don't know. I don't remember when I saw this, but I meant to send it to you when I saw it. But it could have been April Fool's Day. Could have been. But there was some tension with Stephen Yeun, the voice actor for Invincible. So I don't know what that will mean for the future. You know, like he was also supposed to make his appearance in Marvel for Century, but that's not looking like it's a thing anymore. So it's just like a lot of things are up in the air, but like I'm not gonna hold this show accountable for that, because if it's like Robert Kirkman, I don't think that this was his. I don't think that, like, I think he knew he was gonna have a good show, right? Obviously, but I don't know if this is what he had planned as far as like what it would look like partnering with Prime on this. Like,
yeah, but do you think they're ruining the product, or?
I think they're ruining the experience of the show. Like, because like I don't think the ads are such a crazy thing, because it's like it's only like a minute or so, and there's 2 of them or 3 of them if you count the pre-rolls, and apparently like if you download the episode there are no ads, but it's made enough of a like stain on it where it's like not only we have that, but also like the like 6-month break or however long it was for 4 episodes is just never going to make sense to me. Like, sure. And even when like, because if the season's only going to be 8 episodes, there should be no breaks. You know what I'm saying? So like it cuts out some of the immersion for me, which is like I like to get like lost in these worlds, and I'm not a huge like binger of shows. I just like
Mhm.
consistently getting to be like, all right, it's Invincible day today. Like, bet, let's go watch this. All right, next week, boom. Next week, boom. Next week, boom. Next week, boom. Um, because if it's not that, then let me watch it at my own pace. You know what I'm saying? And it just feel it's such a drastic change from the first season that it just really bothered me, and I haven't gotten over it. You know what I'm saying? But when I just look at the show itself, it's just like, I mean, it's still really good. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna focus on that. Like, I'm gonna focus on the positive, you know? Like, and that's all I can really do at this point. You know, because I've said all I had to say, for real, for real. Like, and it's not really like when the first part of the season dropped and it finished up and it was like, all right, wait, 6 months, we're gonna be back at this point in time. I was like, what? Like, it don't even make sense when you stopped.
I
You
mean, they
know?
stopped at a pretty epic part, though. I mean, I was floored because I wanted way more. I was like,
But
oh my
then what
god, this
happened
next
though?
episode.
So what I'm saying is like they stopped at the epic part,
Yeah,
but then what
yeah.
happened?
So I guess that's my only thing. Like, I
It went
I
away.
feel like you're coming from a place of you're more disappointed
Mm-hmm.
on the return than you are at the show. You know what I mean? Like, you feel like the return of it isn't as great as you remember it being.
For 4 episodes, no. Like, I don't feel like what we're getting is worth the break.
Yeah,
Like,
but so all I'm thinking is like the first 4 episodes, I thought it was very, very, very good Invincible.
mm-hmm.
And then the break happened. So then the first episode, it definitely doesn't feel like, yo, it's worth the wait.
Mm-hmm.
But when you add them all these episodes that we just saw together,
Yeah.
I mean, season 2 is looking really good overall. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just as interesting, even more craziness, and now we're getting to a point where we got a bunch of different villains.
Mm-hmm. But we're at a point in the story where like we're getting a whole bunch of different villains and stuff like that, and it's like the world building is really good. The interpersonal relationships between all the characters is really good. You know, freaking Mark's mom might have found a new man type beat. Like, who knows? Like, who knows what's gonna
Maybe.
happen? Uh, so it just for me, because it's not even a disappointing thing. It's just like I'm trying to figure out what is the reasoning for it. Like, because for me, the first time I experienced a real part, like a break in a series, like for a season, was for Ozark.
Sure.
And I was still mad then, but even in that break, it was like 10 episodes. So like that is like on Netflix, that's a full season on some shows. You know what I'm saying? So for it to be a part 2 of a season 4, like finale type beat, I was just like, okay, I'll let that slide. But my question to you is like, well, not so much a question, but like when the moment of the show ended, and you were like, oh, that was really good. Like,
Hyped.
hype.
Hyped.
Like, what the heck, bro? You know?
Yeah.
And go into that next week and there not being the episode, finding out, oh, we got to wait 6 more months for it to come out.
Yeah.
Like, boom, initial disappointment, right?
Yeah,
But it's
yeah.
just like,
That's how I feel like
then,
you're taking it.
yeah. So, like, but it evolves. The feelings evolve, right? So, like,
Well, I'm just kind of like we're about to watch the final episode of the season,
mm-hmm,
and after these last 2 episodes, I definitely feel like these last 2 episodes have been very, very good. Like the
yeah.
disappointment has gone away, and if I could just merge the 2 seasons, I mean, I wouldn't even remember episode 5 as vividly as I do because of the break.
I don't know if that's true, but it's like so what I was trying to get to was like there's that initial disappointment, but then there's like excitement. It's like, okay, well, when they do come back, oh, it's gonna be crazy, you know?
Yeah.
But then what happened when it came back?
Yeah, it wasn't crazy.
No, you didn't even know it came out, bro. Like we didn't know that it was about to come out. Like there was like there was talks of like trailers and stuff like that, but it was like the feeling of that last episode was like that anticipation. Like we completely forgot about Invincible, you know?
Yeah.
And so like when it came back, it was just like, oh yeah, this show. And it's like, all right, bet we get part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, part 2 is only 4 episodes too? Wow, that's crazy. Like that's like and it's crazy that when we get the first episode, I'm like, yo, we waited 6 months for this. Like that's
one episode though.
That's wild. That's 25% of it.
Yeah, but if you combine the next 3 episodes, do you think you're getting a bad product though?
No, but it's not about that though. So like for me, like when I think about this,
yeah, you feel like you got kicked out of the immersion.
Yeah, and also it'll factor into how I rate it. So like,
but why? I guess that's why I'd be confused, because it's kind of like, you know, Stranger Things. Mm-hmm. They did like a whole month to month separation for the last 2 episodes of the last season.
Right, but those episodes were what?
They were like an hour long,
but they were longer. They were like movies,
finale.
Bro. They were like movies.
Sure. It's like hour-long episodes compared to the normal runtime.
Yeah, so like, and I watched those back to back. You know what I'm saying? So like,
well, I watched them a month apart.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So it does suck, but it's kind of like when I think
month.
About them together, it's good. Like
it's a month though, bro. Like it's a like you're comparing Stranger Things. So, that's like what? 12
yeah, but I'm saying
episodes, 10 episodes?
I'm not docking it though. Do you see what I'm saying? The wait does suck. I agree.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like once I see both products, was it good or not? That's all I'm saying. So it's kind of like coming off such a great episode like episode 4 and then going to episode 5. Episode 5 is definitely more of like, hey, we're getting back into the groove thing. Mm-hmm. So it's more of a letdown because of the anticipation of that previous one, like where they left Invincible at. Mm-hmm. But now we get episode 6 and 7, and I'm thinking like, yeah, we're actually like there.
We're back in it.
We're back in it.
And you know what?
If they just released it like, yeah, but it's not bad though. That's what I'm saying. I don't
never said it was bad. I'm saying this. I'm saying like this rollout is bad. That's what I'm saying. So like the issue I have is like, for me, immersion is a part of the process. Like when I'm like thinking about a show, I'm thinking about how I felt when I watched the show. I'm thinking about like what was going on during that time period. What was I not watching because I was watching Invincible? Like all those things play a factor. And I just feel like this part was so distracting because of all the other things that like have happened. So like if it was all consistent and it all had ads and it all came out 4 episodes per part, I'd have no problem. But I don't like this trend that we're going on, because you get things like Echo, you get things like all these other shows that are only like 5 episodes, and now they're like, we're going from having like full shows to to miniseries, and it's like, okay, if it's gonna be that, then like be upfront with it. But if you're gonna promote it as this like, okay, this is the next big thing. Like when Invincible first came out, people was like, yo, this is different. Like this is the next one.
Yeah.
But now it's like, yeah, this show's still good. But
yeah, you're so funny.
It's not what it had. It's not what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like that's all I'm trying to say.
I just think you're harping on the release of it, and you're trying to dock the product you're getting though. Like I still think they delivered a good product. That's all. Like
I
I
think
get,
that's
I
fair.
agree with
I
you.
think that's fair
Yeah,
for you.
because I'm thinking
I
like
just
if
don't agree.
so you would rather wait, for example, if they already had 4 episodes or half the season ready to go, you'd rather wait longer for the full package.
Yeah, but my thing is like I'm not buying that it wasn't ready. You
Sure,
know what I'm
but
saying?
I'm asking like it for most shows, if they had half the season ready to go,
Mm-hmm.
you are more of the viewer that would rather just save it all for week by week release. Like
Yeah.
don't give me half the season and then
Or if it's like if it's depending on how many episodes it is. Like if it's from the range of 5 to 3, you might as well drop it all at once. If it's from the range of 5 to 8, you can go week by week. If it's from the range of like 8 to 10 to like 12, then I don't mind there being a longer break or there being like we get 6 episodes here, take 3 months, do another 6 episodes here because it's all schedule based. So it's like what like I know like there's a bigger picture happening of like what like as far as like the machine of what's going on over at Prime and like the competition of like all the streaming platforms and stuff like that.
yeah.
But it just feels like it wouldn't go like this if it was on a different platform. Like if this was on Netflix, it would have been a way better experience. And I'm not doc. That's why I was saying like I wasn't expecting to have a 30-minute talk about this, but I wasn't. I wouldn't dock the show if it was consistently like that. Like they just added all this stuff on here. This
Yeah, sure.
for this season, and it sucks that it's Invincible that they chose to do this on.
Yeah, the
You know
most
what I'm
popular
saying?
one.
Yeah. So it's just like, if you ask me, I don't like it. That don't mean that you can't like it. That don't mean that I don't like the show. That just means like I don't like the way that they're dropping it. And next time it come around, I might not be here for when that first part drop. I might wait till both of them drop, type thing. And
Yeah.
then that'll be my experience. But if you don't give me that option, if you don't tell me like, yeah, like we were, pressed for time, like we had this issue going, I don't need to know all that. But if you're not gonna say anything and just start wilding out, I got something to say about it. And that's just how I feel, bro. Like the show, I'm not gonna sit here and say, yeah, Invincible is trash. Like, but when you say, oh, Invincible season 2 is back and we're getting 4 episodes for part 1 on the last episode, oh, it's an automatic mid. It's an automatic mid now. Until you prove me otherwise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so that's not the only thing that it's confusing, because it's like you're automatically saying it's mid without
Out of spite.
bringing in the context of the show.
That
Like,
was at
is the show
episode
good?
5 though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not. I agree with you that I don't like the release
Mm-hmm.
schedule either.
Yeah.
But when I think about the show, think about the episodes together,
Mm-hmm.
like it's still really good. Episode 5 would just be a boring-ish episode. Like if they would have made episode 5 the last episode we saw,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, okay, now we're gonna take a break, I'd have been like, oh, okay, cool. And then that episode 6, I'd have been like, yo, we up, like we
Mm-hmm.
back. But it's just the fact that episode 5 is kind of not great to me. It's good, but it's
Yeah.
just like compared to the high of 4, and especially seeing 6, it's like not
Mm-hmm.
even close.
Yeah. I just
Like if
for
every
me,
show does what Invincible does in the future, you're
yeah.
automatically not gonna like them, right?
No,
Yeah.
that's not what I'm saying.
So
I'm
the new One Piece drop, the new Netflix One Piece drop, they only do
Yeah.
half half the arc or whatever,
hmm
and they
I
say,
think it's
"Hey, in another 6 months, we'll drop the next half."
yeah.
You're gonna be mad.
I'm gonna be mad if it's how it depends on how many episodes it is.
4 episodes, like same format.
I'm gonna be like, why? What's the purpose of that, bro? I'm gonna be mad.
Yeah.
But like, I think this sets bad precedents for what Prime is. It could be. But
Mhm.
when I'm thinking about the show, it it's not like a huge like okay like for the memes, right? Like episode 5 come out, waited 6 months, oh, to 7 now, trash. You know what I'm saying? Like for the meme, you know what I'm saying? But as we go along, like as we are at episode 7 right now, it's not really a 7, but that's still going to factor in to what my final score is going to be for the show, for sure, at least by half a point. Like what we talking about, bro? Like that was to me a big enough thing where for season 3 that will go away, right? That doc will go away if the breaks continue, 4 episode structure continues, that breaks goes away. But that half a point or a point out of 10 will be
Gotta
reflective of
stay.
my
Gotta
experience.
stay.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just what it was, bro. And it's not like it's cause like for me, the reason why I say like it's mid automatically is because for one, I don't got the whole thing. We only halfway through. You know what I'm saying? So like there's funniness in it, but at the same time, like there was real like, what are we doing? Like type thing attached to it too. And I don't want it to take over the whole like conversation about Invincible, but I think it's a fair thing to bring up. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like if this happens with Invincible, their most popular, thing, and I don't even know if that's true because the boys is up there too, but it's
For
like
sure. For sure.
one of the, if not their biggest IP for animation specifically. It's just like, oh yeah, we're gonna like because if you think about it, bro, if you think about it in like movie terms, right? Like thinking of like if we went to the movies every week to watch this one show. Boom, you pay for each week. You know what I'm saying? Consistent. But then, oh yeah, we're gonna take a 6 month break. But you're still paying every month to go to the movies but not see Invincible. And that's not how obviously how streaming works, but it's just like, like that's kind of like something that just like I would rather get it all like it's a way for them to
Yeah.
stretch their money out. You know what I'm saying? And if that is going to be the thing, like I don't like it, but let it be the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like just be upfront with it. Whereas like, because if there was just like, because I don't think I found out till like that next week when I was waiting for the episode. Like, oh yeah, it got released that you know part 2 will be out next February or whenever Invincible started.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, because then nobody would have watched it and we probably would have waited. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta pick your battles, and this is one of the battles I'm picking to where it's like I'm not rolling, bro.
No, I
But it's still a
understand.
good show.
Because it reminds me of back when movie theaters or movies started originally doing the part 1, part 2, and people felt that way too. Kind of like you're actually just splitting up a movie to make more money. You know,
Yeah.
it's kind of like you have this budget to shoot one movie,
Mm-hmm.
and you decide, well, it's a 3-hour movie. What we'll
Yeah.
do is add 20 minutes. We'll cut it in half and add 20 more minutes of filler.
Mm-hmm.
Now we got 2 movies.
Yeah.
And people feel like the quality isn't there. And now I waited a year, 2 years for part 1, and the
Mm-hmm.
new one comes out in 8 months, a
Yep.
year.
Yep.
And it's like, all right, well, I
Mm-hmm.
watched half the movie. Now I got to rewatch it again right before the new movie come out, and I kind of feel,
Yeah.
eh.
And we
So like
know I was gonna
go ahead.
say, and we know what a good part 2 is and a good part 3 is. Like we got examples of what it's supposed to look like. You know, like we got
Yeah,
Spideyverse.
but
Like
I
we
would only
got
counter
Dune.
by saying like only if it's good do
Mm-hmm.
do you not care for part 1, part 2? You know what I mean? Like when we
Yeah.
had Infinity War, it was technically supposed to be part 1, part 2, and they
Mm-hmm.
changed it from Infinity War uh part
Endgame.
2 to Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like as long as the content is good, like
Yeah.
no one really cares. But when you get stuff like Breaking Dawn part 1, part 2 from freaking Twilight and
Mm-hmm.
Mockingjay part 1, part 2,
Game
it
of
really
Thrones.
I mean Game of Thrones could be a really good
People
version
hated
of that
the last season.
because it went from like 10 episodes a season to like
Yeah.
6.
Mm-hmm.
I think they did like a 7-6
Right.
the last season.
Right.
Yeah, but if it would have ended good, no one would have cared, and that's kind of
But
how
look,
I felt
that's
about Invincible. I think
okay.
it's good.
You think it's comparable to that. So, but for me, I have a different experience of Game of Thrones. I was able to watch it all the way through.
Yeah.
And I think it was good the whole time. You know? So
Yikes. Yeah,
because
expose this man. I was kidding.
no, and I don't care, bro. I stand on it because I do think it is a different experience because it's a different level of immersion, bro. Like y'all waited years for this one season, and then y'all was mad after that, and that changed y'all whole opinion on the show. Not that it was a bad show, but it was definitely a bad season,
Yeah.
and that's all I'm trying to say. Like, this is a bad moment for Invincible, but I don't think it was Invincible's fault. I don't
Yeah,
think
but
it
so
was.
the difference between Game of Thrones and Invincible though is I feel like Invincible, when you look at the two sections of the season,
Mhm.
it's the same show. It's concise. It's the same story they're gonna tell. When I look at Game of Thrones, the original seasons feel nice, slow. They're drawing these connections, and then as you get to the later seasons, they just drop off storylines, and then they're rushing to this end.
Mhm.
And a lot of because the books weren't finished,
Mhm.
and the guy told them the ending, a lot of stuff kind of makes you wonder, like, why this direction? Wait a minute. Now this person's kind of acting differently. Hey, shouldn't you like
Mhm.
stop them? Like,
That's not a part of their character type thing. They wouldn't
yeah,
do
that
that.
happens in the last season of
Mhm.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And you kind of just are sitting there like, what happened to the show I really liked? Because I've
Mhm.
sat there week by week, like you're saying,
Yeah.
but it's like now I feel like you guys purposely rush these characters' development
Mhm.
because we all know it's wrapping up instead of like actually finishing out the story. And
Yeah.
for Invincible, it does after these episodes, it does feel like we're just finishing out season 2. It feels really good. Feels like we're in a place that makes a lot of sense. We got more clarification,
Mhm.
and the only thing that sucks is just that time block.
Yeah.
Like I would not want it either, but like you said, going forward, if they keep doing it, at least I'll get Invincible earlier, and then hopefully it's not this mega long wait because it took, man, 3-4 years for
Yeah.
Invincible to come
COVID.
back.
Well,
That's a little too long for me.
yeah. I hear where you're coming from, but I don't agree that it's a 1-for-1 comp. And I know I brought Game of Thrones into it, but what I was speaking more to was um the reaction of the people, not so much like because I don't like in my experience of watching the show, like it might have been like I didn't feel the same way everybody else felt about it, but I think it was attributed to how I watched it. So I feel like how you watch things plays a factor into it. And because we'll never know what it's like to have watched for the first time, mind you, for the first time, Invincible season 2, episode 1 through 8,
Mhm.
we can't definitively say that it would have been the same. We can't definitively say that like this season is worse off for it. But I could say that I don't like it. I don't like that thing about this season.
Yeah, but you're not
And
talking about the show though. You're talking about how it was presented to you. Kind of
but that factors into
I'm a
but
I'm a binger,
yeah,
and then some people like doing the week by week shows. Like they
yeah,
like that format better.
yeah.
But for me, I like binging because I can like sit there, get the whole story all done.
Yeah.
The week by week anticipation, what could happen, blah blah blah, like all that drawn out. Like I'm cool with that. Just quick 10 minutes, like, oh my gosh, that was crazy, blah blah blah, and then I can go right to the next one.
Yeah.
But for me, it's just kind of like, was the episode good or not afterwards? If they give me poop after a week, it's poop. But if they give me gold, like I'm happy, And that's why I feel like Invincible, like all I'm watching is some of the best stuff. I want more. I can't wait for more, and I can't wait for tomorrow's episode.
Yeah.
Now, if tomorrow's episode's poop, then it encapsulates season 2 as it didn't end great, But the delivery for it, I still feel like they were giving me like grade A Invincible. Like I didn't think they slacked on animation. I didn't think they slacked on story, and I really feel like they're setting up Mark to be going crazy season 3. Not gonna lie.
This is the last thing I'll say on it, because like on just this topic, we can talk about the actual episode after this. For me, like the immersion, I know would have been made a difference, because that is a big thing for me, like as far as like the world and how it feels. So I can't say definitively if, like I was saying, if I watch this whole thing through and through, that I would feel the same way I feel right now about the show, because I do feel good about the show. But because of the way that it was delivered, it took away a part of that immersion.
Yeah.
Because I can go into, like, for you, you can't go into the movies and turn your brain off and just enjoy something. Like, I can do that. I can just watch it for what it is, right? But I also like thinking deeply about what's going on. So like when I say like it takes away from the show, that doesn't mean that it's like it's automatically like horrible now. And every time I go up to somebody and they ask me, "What'd you think about Invincible?" I'm gonna be like, "Oh, nah, like, yeah, season 1 was great, but season 2 was trash, bro. Like that joint was the worst thing I ever seen in my life." Like, no. And I know I'm being hyperbolic right there in that, but I would definitely say that Invincible still goated. But I don't like the way that they rolled out season 2 in parts if it's only gonna be 4 episodes each. But after that point, if this is the continuous process of the show and how they go on season 3, season 4, season 5, however long this joint goes, I'm okay with that, because now I know what to expect. And the scores will reflect that. But I can't just X that out of my mind like that those 6 months didn't happen, because when it came back, I was just like, oh yeah, I can watch Invincible now. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, it's season 2 time, like how it was when it first initially dropped. And I just think that is something to acknowledge. But if it doesn't, like if you can just get rid of that in your mind, and that's like all that, like you could just enjoy it for what it is, that's cool too, because the show is good. Like these Viltrumites go crazy, bro.
Yeah.
But when I say it, it just still feels like I'm hating. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's really not about Invincible. It's about what the trend is going to be now. Because when I look at Invincible, season 1 to season 2, I mean season 2 part 1 to part 2, I don't see anything in this show that makes me think I had to wait 6 months. Absolutely nothing. Because for one, if it was we had season 1, last year, and now we're coming up on season 2 this year around the same time, and that deadline is like, oh yeah, we still needed a little bit of extra time to get through, because people also have to, there's burnout and stuff like that, especially with animation and all that. Like, to come back after a few years of nothing and get 8 episodes, but then break it into 4 parts and then space it out, it's just like, I know there's no way that you needed all that time just to do this.
Definitely.
You just want people on you want the subscription money for week, like for month, you know what I'm saying? And like, that bothers me, because you're sacrificing the product to keep people on your app longer. Because people definitely not going to that joint to watch football, because y'all get the worst games, but it's also the only place they can go watch football on those days. So it's just like, that's just how I feel on that subject, but I can still separate what it is from what it ain't. And that's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Rant over.
my man still thought about that after watching Invincible. That's crazy.
Bruh, I was ready to be done with it 10 minutes ago, 20 minutes ago, but...
Nah, you started the podcast ready, being like, yo, Invincible, I need y'all not to do this next season.
And then I ended it. And then you was like, but how could you do that? And I was like, all right, bet, say less, we're going to get into it then. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just how it goes sometimes. But where do you want to go now, bro? Where do you want to go now? Because...
Hey, Amazon Prime, you in trouble with G.
Well, all right. Let's start with this, bro. Because this is like
the last episode of Invincible comes out tomorrow, bro.
Yeah.
The last episode, we're gonna have the whole package, and we're gonna need G's. We probably did give it a score from its part 1, so we're gonna need that part 2 version.
Yeah. I gave it a 7 for part 1, but
if
it's trending the way that it's going right now, then it'll probably just be a 9. But it's a spiteful 9. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't even gonna get into it. I'm not even gonna get into it. But
I
wanted to talk about Anissa, just because she's a new character, and she looked like freaking Supergirl, bro.
She really does look like Supergirl. I could not take Supergirl out of my mind. I was like, yo, this show crazy.
It's Supergirl with that chattered white, bro. That's what it looked like. Like, if you know Destiny, you know about that chattered white.
Good days.
But yeah, so it's interesting seeing different virtual mice, because it seems that their powers are pretty standard, but based on their build, it looks a little different. You know what I'm saying? So she had more of a speedy build. Like, she was way faster than, anybody we done seen so far. And she's just as strong, if not stronger. Now, granted, she was going up against Invincible.
Yeah.
And
they said that she's stronger than Omni-Man.
Yeah. And not only, they say she was faster. Pretty sure. 100%. But I don't know if she's stronger, though. But that's semantics. She's strong. You know what I'm saying? But she was going up against Invincible, and she went up against Seth Rogen's guy. What is his name?
Alan
the alien. And Alan just had a Zenkai boost, bro, and now it's just built different. You know what I'm
He
saying?
really is.
He built
Like
different now.
he's brand new.
Yeah, and that has me super excited for what's to come. But the Viltrumites are such a secret, but also like everybody knows about them, that her character by herself, it's just like, yo, she's drinking the Kool-Aid like so heavy, like swimming in that junk. And I really am left just wanting this to make Mark better, you know? Because Mark can freaking grow back his teeth. So, like, when you gonna learn how to fight, bro? That's my question. When you gonna learn how to box for real? Because it's not just a speed thing, it's an experience thing. And that's what she really has on him, and that's what they really have on everybody else because they live so long. So, what are your thoughts on Anissa, bro?
I
Before we get
thought
up out
she's
of
a
here.
really cool way of connecting finally this Viltrumite empire.
Mm-hmm.
Because she released a lot of nuggets. Like
Yeah.
we kind of already viewed the Viltrumites as this evil, world conquering galactic force.
Mm-hmm.
And she brought the Kool-Aid with her and pretty much said, "Yo, this is how many thousands of people be dying on your planet. You have an
Yeah.
18% chance to make it through. Y'all polluting the air. Y'all suck.
Mm-hmm.
This human race is not great. You have a
Yeah.
chance, but it's so low. If us Viltrumites just come in here and rule y'all, all disease is gonna be cured. Y'all not gonna have crime. Y'all not gonna have it." That Kool-Aid sound real good. I mean, I sat there, watched the episode, and said, "Hey, I might be voting Team Viltrumite." Like,
Oh
yo,
my gosh, they converted him.
I ain't gonna lie, I was convinced. I was like, "Yo, she got a point." And then
Yeah.
when Mark could not save these people on a cruise,
Yeah.
I was like, "Bruh, you
Yeah.
you are Mark. This is the moment you don't make no jokes, no Spider-Man quips, nothing. You punch this kaiju as
Yeah.
hard as you can and
Mm-hmm.
be like, "See, I got this." And
Right.
this man jumped on the boat. Why are you jumping on the boat? Beat up this thing. Like, what are you
Yeah.
looking at? And then
Right.
she was like, "Bro, this guy, he sucks." And just shoom.
Went
So
right through it.
I
Speed
love
blitz.
the introduction of her, and it just makes me wonder too, Mark, when you gonna learn how to fight?
Yeah.
Because the moves are just not
Mm-hmm.
moving. I need you to go train on the moon or something.
Yeah.
We need the training arc next season because
Mm-hmm.
he is still so weak.
Yeah. And it sucks too because it's like he's invincible, right? But he be getting beat up all the time. And
Yeah, I guess it don't mean you're strong. It just means you can't die.
like when I tell you this last episode was probably like my favorite just because of the build up of,
I liked it a lot.
Mark
Yeah.
and uh Mark and Amber finally, getting to spend some time together and really
Yeah.
like, do the whole boyfriend girlfriend thing and like travel and do it as like he is invincible. Go travel to this place, that place, this place, that place, for it to be just so wholesome and just get boop, pow, got you by the neck. You know what I'm saying? And you feel that tension of like, yo, she really could kill her right now. I don't know
Out
why
of
you acting
nowhere.
bold like this, Mark. Like, what are we doing? You spent the time to go back to change before coming to talk to her?
Yo, agree.
Like,
I
what are we
agree,
what are we
bro.
talking about, bro?
That was crazy.
I was
She
like,
could have
yo,
been like, "Yo, did he just fly away?" You
that's what
know
I'm
what?
saying.
Boom! Just
Like, bro. And then just that whole moment of like, yeah, well, like, let me show you what I can do type thing. And it just not go his way. Like it was poetic in the sense of like, yo, when Mark do learn how to fight, bro, like it could be a problem just based off of what everybody else can do. You know what I'm saying? Just because like right now, like the biggest thing is hurting him is experience, like I was saying before. And because like what I thought was gonna be in those books versus like what we actually saw and what we actually got out of him was cool in the moment, but I can't think. I was expecting a little bit more of just like, be super fast. He should probably be able to read super fast too. Like he should be able to get through these and comprehend them however he needs to like maybe learn how to be better at doing this whole superhero thing and what he could learn from just all that information. But I like how that tied into Alan, and then now Alan getting the chance to link up with Nolan for this final episode and possibly see a breakout. Um, that is going to be super exciting, bro.
Yeah.
And I can't believe it. Like,
And to see how strong Alan really is, because
yeah, he was like that.
we
Didn't even
saw a
hurt.
glimpse of it, like him not getting hurt,
Mhm.
but like
He ate them
he
jumps.
might, yeah, he might be crazy strong now.
Yeah, and it just goes to think of like, yo, is he just Piccolo? Can he just regenerate? Like, and we know that's not really true, but like,
Yeah,
he's Piccolo with a Zenkai boost. Like, he's Piccolo with Saiyan genes, essentially, because he not only got bigger but also stronger and faster. So,
yeah,
and it also speaks to the Viltrumite's arrogance too, because of like her thinking like, yeah, he might not got knocked out by this first punch, but the second blow is going to get him.
hmm
And it got him. He's like, I knew I was great. Like that's
yeah,
basically what she said. He's like, you thought you was nice. So it just goes to show like that is really their weakness, is their arrogance, and maybe the thing that is the quote unquote poison that uh, you know, Nolan is supposedly had is that bit of humanity that Mark's mom taught him.
yep.
And it's just like boom, poetic, like this is great. This joint is great, and it's all Prime fault. But this
Yeah,
joint
I
is
think
good,
you hit
bro.
right on the hammer. Like, there is that little bit of poison that Nolan discovered on Earth,
Mm-hmm.
and the Viltrumites still exhibit that they are superior, and with our rule, everything is way better. We're
Yeah.
way stronger. We know better.
Mm-hmm.
And even them just kidnapping Alan, it's kind of like, you're not supposed to be this strong. We're gonna dissect you and figure out why you're so strong.
Yeah.
And I know how to knock you out perfectly. Boom, I knocked you out. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
just how I thought so. And I'm gonna just drag you back. And it's like,
She was leaking too. She was leaking.
yeah. So you would think, especially when she fought Mark, she made sure Mark was down.
Yeah.
For Alan, that arrogance came into play where she said, "Oh yeah, he's knocked out."
Mm-hmm.
You, this dude was impervious those first couple of hits.
Still
Punched you one
impervious.
time and you were leaking, and now you're just gonna assume he's knocked out. And oh
Yeah.
yay, come on.
Had to been
So
a fluke, bro. Had to been.
it's that arrogance though, the
Yeah.
Viltrumites.
Mm-hmm. So that's gonna be dope. And then
Big
the
brain,
cutscene.
brainy brain.
The brain is back in a new suit, and he got the baby and his mom.
Poor Mark. Jeez, two
Man, that
hostages
boy
already.
going through it, bro. Because even when he went back with Amber and she was crying, and they like basically officially like broke up for real, for real.
Yeah, officially broke up.
That was tough because it's just like, yo, you just can't. You don't have to. You don't have to do this. Like I was saying it to myself, like you do not have to do this, bro. So going from that to this, it's just like, yo, what will they not do, bro? And it's like I don't even know what he could really do outside of taking them somewhere. But
Another dimension of reality.
yeah, exactly. Or like take them to space or something random like that. Like I don't know how much fear he's evoking from Mark, but I know Mark is just like drained. He's just he probably just like, bruh, I just want to go to bed. Like
the superhero stuff is impossible. I'm sure that's what he's thinking. Like,
yeah.
I couldn't beat a kaiju. I couldn't beat the Viltrumite. I technically couldn't save my girlfriend, or was powerless to my girlfriend. My girlfriend broke up with me, and now my mom and brother are held hostage.
Yeah.
Like,
And you're just thinking like,
never wins.
How did his dad do this for 16 years, right? Or 18, 17 years, or however long it was till he got his powers, like, and he was coasting.
Yeah.
coasting. Like, why did things just all of a sudden turn up when Mark got his powers? Like,
And to be honest, he'd probably want to ask his dad, but his dad's also getting executed.
yep.
Like,
So
all this is happening to work.
and he got a baby brother that's
Yep.
learning how to talk and walk and probably get his powers faster.
And then he's probably going to be stronger than him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to lie. At this rate, his brother going to be his teacher, teach him how to fight.
No, I don't know that. I don't know about that. But yeah. But it's not just a Mark thing. It's really a Guardians thing. It's really a whole show. Like this whole show, everybody really sucks at being a hero. And that's kind of part of it. Because like we were saying last time, like even the training that they do does not really make sense as far as like how much experience they have and like what they have access to. Like Cecil should not be the GM anymore, bro. Like it's got to go to somebody else.
Fired.
You know,
it's not working.
It's not working, bro, at all. So
get Nick Fury in there. Get the team right.
Nick Fury ain't doing good either, bro. You need to get somebody else in that joint. Get Alfred. Batman, switch it up, bro. You know, but I mean, that's all. That's pretty much it, bro. Like, I'm excited for this next episode. Let us know in the comments how you feel. I'm sorry for my rant that I went on.
Nah, people are gonna feel that way. I know people are gonna feel that way.
It had to be done, bro.
And Amazon's probably gonna do it again.
Yeah, and that's why I said like that's the next thing. That's just what it is, and you know, it won't necessarily have a factor for next time, like out the gate, but definitely gonna factor in this time, bro. And it won't be much, but it's still gotta have something in there. But yeah, you got anything else left for Invincible, bro?
No, I just can't wait for tomorrow because I'm glad you reminded me that it drops tomorrow because I'm gonna watch it as soon as it comes.
Yeah, that's a bet. And what you geeked about?
Ooh, what am I geeked about? Man, to be honest, the only thing I've been watching is One Piece. I'm geeked about finishing up the arc, but I'm still like 60 episodes. So I'll probably be able to get through that by the time of the next podcast. And I don't want to be geeked about any other shows because I just want to finish Invincible, Shogun, and I want to wrap those ones up. And then I'm open to anything else. So One Piece. I'm actually defeating this show. We're actually defeating the show. So that's all I'm geeked about
season.
Right yeah, this for now. Because once we get to the next arc, once we get to the next arc, you know me, G. I may be like, yo, it's time to start a new anime, start something else.
This man Chris told me like, yeah, bro, we struggling right now getting through Dressrosa. Like they was like, it was like, yeah, we got through that last part, but man, I don't know about now. And I was like, what? I never reached that part. Like I was still waiting for it to happen. For
like,
it to get slow.
I wondered, like right now, I think we looked up to see how long like Skypia was. And it was nowhere near as long. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. We're at a new level of anime where we feel like this arc is so long.
Yeah.
And the arcs we used to think were long are like half the size.
Like the arc I'm on right now, or I'm about to go into, is 45 episodes. Think about that.
So great.
45,
so great.
Bro.
Yeah. This thing was like 127 burger. It was crazy.
I'm saying. And we talking about 4? For part 1, Chris, and I'm not supposed to be mad, bro. What are you talking about?
No, he's back.
Like, the logic is back. It's not making sense.
He's back.
The math is not mathing. Oh man. But
what you geeked about?
I'm geeked about One Piece. I'm ready to start this next arc, or not necessarily. See, it's not necessarily the next arc, but it's just like the final battle. it's begun where I'm at. So I'm excited to get into that. But outside of that, I've been watching Blacklist. I still want to watch Kong and Godzilla. Freaking solo leveling. Solo leveling is amazing, bro. It's amazing. Best thing since Blue Lock. Stamping it. What else? Is there anything else? I haven't really watched that much HBO, really. I've really been just watching Netflix and Crunchyroll outside of what we've seen on Prime. Hulu? Oh, I'm all caught up on Abbott too. I'm all caught up on
Nice.
Abbott. So like I've been making my rounds through these shows, but I'm waiting for it. I need that House of Dragons back on HBO, bro.
Yeah, don't do a 2-parter, House of Dragons. Don't do a 2-parter.
Nah, bro. House of Dragons is worth it, bro. It's worth it, bro. Their episodes are mad long, and they wouldn't do that. They have brains over there. They're not too big brained to where all we think is numbers.
They gonna say, hey, what is Prime doing over there? Hey, copy them. They're making too much money,
bruh. Crazy, absolutely crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. This month we got some cool movies that's coming out too. So got Challengers, which is Zendaya's new movie, where she might be in a throuple. And then
I got to see that from my boy Tom, because if something goes too crazy,
yeah, Nah, Tom's last role.
Oh yeah. You're right. They even.
Yeah. Dang, and we talked about that in one of them clips too, bro. I forgot about that.
I forgot.
That was a moment, bro. That's crazy. I didn't watch it though. I just remember it like Twitter exploding, bro.
Twitter went crazy.
Yeah, the true artiste, bro. But yeah, where was I going with that? Oh yeah, then also Civil War that comes out. Like I said, Kong and Godzilla came out, and it was in one other thing. Oh, My Hero comes back out. My Hero comes back out this month, so should be fun. But let us know what y'all excited to watch and what you liked about this episode. And yeah, hopefully they don't poop the bed on this last episode and then go crazy.
Come on, Amazon. Wrap it up good.
Yeah. But appreciate y'all for tuning in. Once again, we're going to highlight y'all in the next one. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on your favorite audio platforms and on YouTube. And we'll see y'all next week. Stay geeked. Peace.
Later, y'all.